So you want to sell a credit spread on a stock using options, and you don't want it to become a really complex system. What do? Well, here's how I structure my credit spreads. Let me walk you through what I'm doing right now. Now, this isn't a rule for everybody, but it is a framework that helps keep me disciplined when it comes to structuring my credit spreads. I begin with an expiration cycle that's 45 to 60 days out. This gives me enough time for the trade to be right without really rushing the trade. And I'll usually sell the at the money strike or slightly out of the money, buying an option that is just a little bit further out, usually $1 to $5 wide to create that spread width. Now, when I enter this trade, I'm looking to collect about 30% of the width of that spread. So on a $5 wide spread, I want to collect about $1.50. When it comes to exiting the trade, there are a couple of ways that I will do this. I will exit it for a profit when I can realize 60% of the total credit that I received. So in this case, I received a credit of $1.50. 60% of that is 90 cents. So when I can close out this trade at a debit of 60 cents and realize $90 of profit, I'm going to do so. If on the other side the trade goes against me, I was wrong about the direction and it's working against me, I will exit at a 40% of the max risk on this trade. In this example, our max risk is $3.50. So my 40% threshold of that is about $1.40 or so, and so that's where I'm going to exit. Now this makes it really simple. I'm either going to make $90 or I'm going to lose $140. And one good thing that does for me is it helps balance out my risk to reward ratio, which is not good for most credit spreads. Most of the time, one loss in a credit spread can wipe out several winners, but when I have this structured this way, I'm looking at about a 1 to 1.56 risk to reward, which means I only need to be right about 60% of the time for this strategy to have a positive expectancy. And if I can bump that up to around a 70% win rate, well, then I'm getting a system in place that can generate about 4 to 4.2% of the width of that spread per trade. Now, that's on a $5 wide spread. That's about $20, $21 per trade at one unit. Now, over the course of a year, that's about $1,000 per strategy per unit that I'm doing with this system. It's not exciting, it's not flashy, but it's repeatable and it's consistent. And it's still something I'm fine tuning, and I'm open to thoughtful input from you. But the takeaway here is this, that consistency doesn't come from our prediction or from chasing giant winners. It comes from clear rules and simple decisions that you can repeat.